Hello my students, this is chapter 8, lesson 3, what is another way to change matter? Now, we took before the physical change and we said it happens when matter changes but the kind of matter stays the same, like cutting, folding, coloring, bending, melting, evaporation, condensation, melting, freezing, and making a mixture. All of these are physical changes because when we change matter, the kind of matter stays the same. Now another change of matter is chemical change. And the chemical change happens when matter changes and becomes a new kind of matter. So in chemical change, the matter changes completely. It becomes a new kind of matter, a different matter. Now, burning is a chemical change, cooking, baking, rusting of iron, all of these are chemical changes. Burning. When we burn wood, it changes into ash. Ash is a new matter. It's different than the wood. It's completely different. So when we burn something, it changes completely and becomes a new kind of matter. That's why burning is a chemical change. We started with wood and we ended up with ash, two different materials. Also, when we burn papers, folding the paper is a physical change because the kind of matter is the same material, it's paper. But when we burn it, it changes completely. See? See how the paper is changing? Are they the same? The paper and the material here? This is ash, of course. Are they the same? No. So here we started with paper and we ended up with ash. Are they the same? No. They are totally different materials. So because we started with a kind of matter and we ended up with a different kind of matter, it's a chemical change. We started with the paper and we ended up with ash. So ash is totally different than the paper, and also we cannot change it back again into a paper. So this is a chemical change. Cooking also is a chemical change. When we cook food, it changes completely. Like when we cook vegetables, vegetables before cooking are totally different than after cooking. Like carrots here. This is before cooking and this is after cooking. Cooking changes the texture, the taste, the color of vegetables, of carrots. Carrots become softer and they taste differently. Not only carrots, all different vegetables like onion and pepper here. This picture is before cooking and this one after cooking, so they change completely. Also eggs. Eggs before cooking are different than after cooking. Also, you cannot change a cooked egg back into raw egg again. So after cooking them, you cannot change them back again. So it's a chemical change. Also meat and chicken. Meat before cooking is different than after cooking. Also a chicken before cooking is different than after cooking. So this is a chemical change. Also baking is a chemical change. This is a dough and this is bread. When we bake dough, we get bread, and bread is totally different than a dough. They have different texture, color, taste, so they are different matters. and different materials. We started with something and we ended up with something else, so it is a chemical change. Also, when we make cookies, baking cookies is a chemical change too, because the dough is totally different than the cookie itself. They are different matters, different materials. See how it changes when we bake it? This is the dough. Look how it is changing into a cookie. See? So it becomes a new kind of matter that we can eat. Rusting of iron is also a chemical change. Look at this picture. These are nails and they are made up of iron. In this picture, these are nails too. But why do they have brown color? This brown color is the rust. When we put iron in a wet place, water and air change the iron into rust. So changing from iron to rust is a chemical change. Why? Because rust is a new material. It's totally different than iron. And also you cannot change rust back into iron again. Now the rust, as you can see, it has different color than iron, and also it is much weaker than the iron. It can break down easily. Here is another picture. This is iron and this is rust. This is iron and this is rust. You can see they have different color, and also, as I said, rust is very weak, unlike the iron. When we put iron in a wet place, water and air, they can change iron into rust. This changing is a chemical change. The change from iron to rust is chemical change, and we cannot change rust back into iron again. So this is the end of our lesson. If you have any questions, please ask me.